snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. This is Loading Snacks Weekly. I'm here on the couch with the homie Joe.
Yo, yo.
Just jokes. K in the back.
Yeah.
Holla at the people. They got some things to talk about, don't
Some
we?
things? I think just a few things. Just a few things. A lot of things.
Yes, sir. Just a few things.
Just a few things.
Welcome to the couch.
Yo.
So listen, we are going to discuss Xbox All Access.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Streets of Rage 4.
Never played 1, 2, or 3.
We're going to take a break. And then we're going to talk about the unfortunate and tragic mass shooting in Jacksonville at the Madden Tournament when we come back from the break. So, to get started,
Yeah.
Xbox All Access.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Personally, me, it doesn't affect me because I have all of them, but
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool though. I think it's a good way for people to be able to grab themselves a console and not have to break their pockets right up front.
Right. So tell everybody what it is. Can you tell them what it is?
So make it short and make it simple for you. Think of how cell phones work nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty much pick up an Xbox without dropping any money up forward, and you pretty much are going to pay a monthly fee depending on whether you get the 1S or whether you get the X for having the subscription for both Game Pass and Xbox Live all rolled into one nice little package.
Right. So it's a 2-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it in Microsoft stores.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they announced if you can do it anywhere else.
I know as of right now they said only in the Microsoft store. Only in the Microsoft store.
Makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
Microsoft has some kind of a partnership with Dell to handle the financing, and so you do have to have it does require a credit check, but if you pick the 1S, I have a little bit of a breakdown of how the math works out.
Cool.
Which, I mean, a 1S, you can find 1Ss for like $250 sometimes.
Catch them on sale. Catch them on.
Yeah, but a 1S is normally $299, so $300. Okay. Xbox Live, you make sure you keep track of this.
Yep.
All right. Okay, you think he's doing this math?
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
So $300. Xbox Live is $60 a year.
2 years for that, 120,
Okay. So what are we at?
420.
Huh?
You said because you're starting with the 299. Yeah, so $300. So
Okay.
320,
So
420. My bad.
420. That's Kay's favorite day. And then you have Game Pass, which is $9.99 a month. So over 12 months it will be 120.
120,
Meaning over
540.
2 years.
540, another $120.
It
So
would be wait. It's 120, so it'll be 240 for 2 years of Game Pass, right? So where are we?
We're in that. See, you lost me when you just did that.
Nah,
We're about
I didn't do it. I did it right.
660 rank. We're about 660.
Okay.
660.
Okay, we about 660.
Yeah.
We about 6. That sound right to you, K?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think he was really paying attention.
I don't think he was paying attention
either. Appreciate that.
Anyway, okay, so about 660. Now, if you compare that to paying $22 a month, get you a calculator.
Calculator.
Time to do some work. Some work. You could have used this the first time. He didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have done this. All right, so 22. It's like $21.99, but whatever. 22
$22.
times
24 months.
24.
528.
528. So that's like $130 savings.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all. $22 a month isn't too bad, right? It's like a Netflix and a half subscription or something like that. I mean, when you think about all of what you're getting, besides the console, and obviously Xbox Live with access to play online, you're also getting Game Pass. That
Yes.
$100. I mean, 100 plus games.
Right there off the break. It's like that as a gift, because I know, especially for holiday season, that's a pretty cool gift that you can give.
Right.
You don't have to really necessarily worry about buying it. You know, they may want that one game that's going to come out during the holidays, but it's like, here's an Xbox, and guess what? You got 100+ games right now that you can play if you want to.
You're right, but when you combine that with whatever strategy Microsoft might try to use this with in terms of being able to say all of our first-party games are available free day and date.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so somebody who has this, when Crackdown pretends to come out, you know, Forza, Horizon 4, I mean, it's a solid deal. And I think we're going to start to see third parties. I don't know about day and date, but we're seeing more and more third parties
jumping into Game Pass, come on board for it.
So Game Pass has to be working, obviously. And the idea of having it for 2 years, and at the end of 2 years, the console's yours. But chances are, if those 100 games disappear, right, at that point, either you have purchased games that you're going to continue to play, you enjoy Xbox Live enough that you're going to continue to do that, right? You're playing online or whatever. Or you like Game Pass enough that you're going to keep doing that. And maybe you're going to do both. But either way, you're in the ecosystem.
Exactly.
And you're playing Game Pass, which means that 2 years from now, when they drop whatever the Scarlet is, and it, you know, as we seem to think, will be backwards compatible, all that Game Pass stuff is still going to work on the new console.
Yep.
So even at that point, if you decide, well, I'm going to trade this one in and buy a new console, or if they have a deal that's similar, you know, they're talking about supposedly having a streaming box and having a regular box. We've been talking about this a lot.
Wow, for a while now.
But I think this might be the future of what consoles look like. I mean, Sony obviously doesn't have to play ball with this. Neither does Nintendo, right? But it just gives another arm for Microsoft to not only get you into their system, but to get you into their ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And that is just smart. Like, it's smart.
It is.
Their biggest issue is that you can only do it at a Microsoft store. And that...
They're not everywhere.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, maybe they're more prominent in other places, but they're far and few between where we live.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you really have to fight. You know, I mean, where we live exactly, you're going to drive 45 minutes or so.
To an hour, depending on which way you're going.
Right. If this is a deal that expands beyond this and ends up at Best Buys or Targets, it could be a real problem.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because, like, when they attempted or did this back with the Xbox 360, it was at Best Buy that you could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily how well it did, but it was there.
But it was also something they didn't do until the end of the life cycle.
True that.
And most people who wanted a 360 had one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was much more cost effective too. Of course, it wasn't anything like Game Pass though.
Nope.
So you were getting Xbox Live and you were getting the Xbox itself, but you weren't getting something. You weren't buying a package like this that then gave you 100 games, 100 plus games to be able to have access to and play. You know, where all you really have to do is download them. And you know, with an S, while you can't game in 4K, you can certainly watch movies. I mean, it has a 4K Blu-ray player in it. So it's a great way to get your hands on one of those plus games. And then with the X, obviously you can, I mean, it is the most powerful system that exists. Right. Now, the deal with the X is not as good. At $35 a month, when you do the math, it really only works out to saving you about $20. Still, you're saving.
Yeah.
So if you could afford to do it, it's not necessarily a bad way to go. Kay, would you do this?
Maybe. I mean, that 130 is a different amount, a significant amount of savings for me. But it seems new. I mean, because honest, if I could get an Xbox for cheaper, the subscription part I probably would do. I don't know about Game Pass. I mean, you guys talk about it, but I don't know how good it actually really is. but definitely Xbox Live. I mean, that's definitely a must. So it'd be the box and pretty much Xbox Live. Game Pass, I'd probably be weary. So,
I mean, but if Game Pass comes with it for the monthly fee, regardless of how, that's another thing. It's like regardless of how good you might think Game Pass is, it's still 100+ games. It means you're getting the box. And you have Xbox Live, and you have 100 games that you can play online because you have Xbox Live.
Very different games.
So you have all kinds of games you can play. They got family games, they got shooters. I mean, there's all kinds of Fallout.
You said it was a credit check too, right?
Right. They have to run your credit, but there's no upfront cost to you, right? So you're walking out the door with the system. All you have to do is go and hook it up, and then you make your first payment. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the month or whatever. I mean, if it works, if it starts to work, it really could. Continue. It could change the landscape
because it's a way to get a lot of people that necessarily, because for some people, that $300 to $500 range, it's an investment, and and it's like that's not that. Sometimes you can just go in the bank, pull it out, and just go buy a console. So for some people, being able to just pay $30 a month is a lot easier.
I mean, look at it this way: holiday comes up. You're doing all this shopping or whatever. You're buying stuff for the kids, right? And it's Black Friday, and you're looking at, even though you're getting a great deal, you're like, man, I want to get a 4K TV, right? And so when you're looking at getting a 4K TV and you get that 4K TV, and now you want something where you can actually run 4K content on it, this is a way to walk out the door with something that lets you have 4K content, and there's nothing coming out of your pocket right then and there, right? I mean, depending on what TV, you might even finance the TV.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, if you're in the market for it, it becomes a no-brainer. And this is probably one of the best years to do it because this is the year. I mean, people are getting ready to start seriously grabbing 4K TVs.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know you in the market.
I'm in the market.
Right? So, I mean, you got a 1X and don't have a 4K TV.
I don't have a 4K TV yet.
I have a 4K TV with no 1X.
See? So now, if you could go get a 1X right now for $35 a month, you can watch 4K content, play games, including games that you got already on there that you can play in 4K. Like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. If you had to make a decision between walking out with a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 4 Pro, and dropping $400 versus not.
I know it's kind of like
what do you do if you want both? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna get a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro, but you could also walk out with the Xbox without paying anything right then and there.
Sounds like a good deal right there.
I'm just saying. And then the games that you might want to play on the Xbox, at least there, if the exclusive stuff is gonna be there.
Yep.
So. Yeah, bro.
Not bad, Microsoft.
I mean, I think it's a smooth move. But like I said, we've been talking about it for a minute, but I think it's really gonna be a thing. Listen, I have to lean in for this because Streets of Rage 4. You have never played a Streets of Rage.
I have not.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
You don't know what Streets of Rage is at all?
Not at all.
Yo, you're getting ready to... okay. So, hold on. Did you ever have a Genesis?
Oh, most certainly had a Genesis.
And you never played Streets of Rage?
Nope.
And Streets of Rage 2 was on Xbox Live.
Never downloaded it.
Bruh, you're killing me right now. Anyway, okay. So, here's the deal. Streets of Rage, for those of you who don't know, is a side-scrolling beat-em-up like Final Fight, Double Dragon.
Okay.
Right? The first one was 3 characters. Typical. White dude, white girl, black dude. That's...
Got it.
Typical, right? Streets of Rage 2 had 4 characters. Yeah, little dude on skates. His name was Skates. But Streets of Rage was dope. And it was... Sega made Streets of Rage and released them to home consoles, and they were pretty dope, bruh. Like, yeah, some team up moves. You could grab dudes and somebody else could come behind them. Like, joint was tight. They had, their specials. Kind of just like Final Fight. Like, you know how side scrolling beat 'em up works. Yeah. I mean, I assume you do.
Yeah,
I probably shouldn't assume because you don't know what Streets of Rage is, but I'm just saying. So anyway, they did a Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. They were all pretty successful. They all came out in the early 90s, which is why I understand why you haven't played them. And they were pretty dope. The first one was set the bar. Second one was super dope. The third one was like, but it, you know, it was like at that time when that kind of game was starting to go out.
Oh, fade away.
But nonetheless, they announced they're doing a Streets of Rage 4. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm excited.
But nigga, see,
listen, it's probably gonna be garbage, bruh. So there was like a little trailer or whatever, and it's got a little more of a cartoony style, which is cool. It has the two characters, Axel and the girl's name was Blaze. The white guy's name was Axel. It was right now they've only shown those two, and that might be all there is. I don't know, man. Like, Streets of Rage was dope in its time.
But now,
I'm not like, you know, side-scrolling beat 'em ups have changed so much. It just depends on what they do with it. I mean, if it's pretty much just a straight up walk through the streets and punch people and kick people or whatever and fight a boss at the end of the stage, I don't know how that's gonna hold up when stuff like Castle Crashers exist.
And things
like Castle Crashers, just the RPG elements in it just make it so cool, and the replayability of it, because you can get additional characters that have, you know, slightly different abilities and things like that. Like, it just, that game was through and through, and it was basically a side-scrolling beat 'em up. I mean, that's what it was, right? With a lot of RPG elements mixed in. But if you buy me this, I will play it. I'm just saying, if you buy it from me, I'll play it.
Couldn't be that much. They give a price on it?
No. They haven't announced a price or release date or what systems it's coming to. They just showed
it's coming
and said it's coming.
It's coming, guys.
Yeah, it's by the folks. They redid like Windjammers, Windjammers 2. They announced that. That's coming or just came out or whatever. I think it'll be good for what it is. I just don't know if that kind of game will still translate if they don't do enough to update it.
I got you.
That it works.
Sounds like if they dropped it on a Switch, I feel like this would be something I would probably pick up on a Switch. If it's like, I don't know, there's maybe not for 4. Was there any co-op type stuff involved with the other straight co-op?
Yes, okay. All of them. Co-op. Cool. You know, it was before online. You know what I'm saying? Couch co-op. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like, you sit down, you run through the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a great game. You need some of that in your life.
Gotta try it.
You need some of that in life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you're excited about Streets of Rage 4. Have you ever played the Streets of Rage? Is he nuts for not playing? Should I just make him jump on the Xbox? Should we just play? Because, I mean, it's easy enough to do. They got arcade cabinet joints for it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what y'all think about it. What we're getting ready to do is take a break so we can come back, talk about some other things. Okay, can we take a break?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, take a break.
Loading snacks.
What's going on, everyone? Coop here, one of the Coop's Concessions, and I have a very special guest with me from the Average and Unfamiliar Movie Podcast, my co-host, Gina. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right.
We are here to play a game called Classic or Trash. We're going to take 90s kids movies, and we're going to determine if they are classic or trash. Because when I was a kid, there was no such thing as a bad movie.
The caveat is that there's a good chance that I probably don't remember, possibly haven't seen these movies, but I'll give it my best effort.
I think that's what makes this amazing.
All right.
To not remember the movies and do it. So, let's open this up. You guys play along, and we will see what is classic and what is trash. If I can get this box open.
You weren't watching how he opened it?
There we go. So I'll let you pick the first one.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, The Little Mermaid. That's a classic, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say classic. I'm gonna go with classic. Yeah.
Disney movie, catchy Disney songs that I might listen to sometimes when I'm drinking.
It's necessary for I guess for kids to understand all the Disney princesses, and this is probably one of the biggest ones.
Ariel did make a lot of bad decisions that you know a real one wouldn't make in 2018, but back then, you know, she was pretty average, right? Yeah.
Classic.
Loading snacks.
Welcome back, snackers and snackettes. Jokes.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion. Unfortunately, over the last week, there was a mass shooting in Jacksonville at a Madden tournament. 11 people, I think in total, were shot. 2 people were killed. The gunman killed himself. The gunman was from this area.
Yeah.
We don't know motives for real.
Right.
You know, people think he did get eliminated early. We think that's what it was. It happened while it was being live streamed.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So, you know, there's been a lot of talk. I don't want to go too deep into details. I do want to take a moment to just, you know, extend our condolences to the friends and family of those who were lost and wish speedy recoveries to those who were injured. But, you know, there's been a lot of talk about how safety and security plays a role in, you know, events like this. And we attend a lot of events. We go to a lot of Comic-Cons.
A lot.
You know, gaming cons, MagFest. I mean, and it seems like there's a new convention or tournament or something popping up. Every week. And, you know, you would think or you hope you don't have to worry about something like this, but it's a reality.
Absolutely.
And it's becoming more and more of a reality, right? We can't keep our kids safe at school. You can't go and play. You know, there was a time when if something like this happened, right? I mean, you're talking about a tournament that had like a $5,000 pot, right? There was a time when if something like this happened, it would be money related in terms of like
whatever
somebody's trying to rob, you know what I mean, or something like that. Not that there's cash there on site, you know, who knows, whatever.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, it's just so tough to be prepared, right, for something like this, which just means you have to spend additional funds to increase security. It means that you have to have metal detectors and, you know, check people for weapons and things of that nature when people just want to play video game,
right?
You know what I mean? Competitively, you know, no less. I'm sure you can remember a few years ago. They ended up hiking security at some of the cons here, like Awesome Con, increased security. A lot of that was around
Jason David Frank, that death threat, like. It's like you would think in these type of environments, you know, just like you said, it's something that you shouldn't have to worry about. You know, you go there, you're going there to have fun, hang with your friends, meet new people. By all means, you know, you always have that look behind your back where you want to make sure that everything's going well, but you also have that sense of security. You know what? I'm here amongst, you know, my fellow friends or my fellow people that were here to enjoy the same type of things.
Yeah.
And, you know, you would think that something like this would never happen.
Sure.
But it's like over recent times, it's like, it's just becoming, like, I don't want to say a thing, but it's become a thing.
It has. At least here.
And it's,
in the U.S. it has.
And it's like, as a matter of fact, just last night, and this is not too far off from happening, Raw was in Canada, and apparently someone said, oh, hey, I brought a gun with me, and I'm planning to commit suicide. You need to tune in to see this.
Right.
And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Like,
I mean, look, I can't, you know, I guess at this point, I mean, I don't necessarily want to get into having a discussion about what the actual cause
of, no, most definitely.
You know what I mean? If people are starved for attention or just, you know, whatever, like, that's not something we can answer, right? We can look at or work on ways to try to prevent
absolutely
stuff like that. And it does mean ruining a portion of the fun,
It
right?
does.
For everybody that's involved. But when I really think about, we go to conventions that are so open.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to KatsuCon or MagFest or something like that, I mean, it's basically a huge convention center that's connected to a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the people who are there are not there for the convention.
No,
they're just staying
there.
in a hotel, right? And so if it's something like that, where do you place security checks? You can't run a security check on everybody who's just coming to the hotel to stay at the hotel,
So
right?
many
You can't do it at the front
entrances.
desk. Like
It's like
you can't be sure, right? You just, to a certain extent, you have to be diligent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep an eye on your friends.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just something that has to change about the way that we visit. We have a tendency when we go, we're in a group. We stay together,
Yeah.
we're interviewing people, or we're talking to people or something like that. Like, you almost have to do that. Stay together, stay with each other, pay attention to what's going on around you. Even though that can be really hard to do when you just kind of want to let loose and have a good time.
Absolutely.
And so that ruins some of that for sure. But, it also would be that something like this might normally be... Again, there was a time when you could try to make sure that there was heightened security specifically around celebrities or something like that. Someone who might be there because the thought would be that someone may make an attempt to harm them because of who they are, what their standing is, or something like that. But it's very different when you're in an environment where somebody may just walk in and start shooting.
Right.
For the sake. And you don't know if they're targeting specific people. You know what I mean? You don't know if it's because, it's a person of color. You don't know if it's because I don't like people with short hair. You don't know. You know what I mean? It could be any number of things, And I just really think that a lot of it is going to have to do, for us, I think a lot of it is going to have to do with us doing due diligence, not just amongst ourselves, but amongst everybody. One of the things that I find really great about the conventions that we go to is that there are always panels that are about things that are tied to probably some of the things that are going on with people that might make somebody do something, somebody do something like this, kind of continuing to let people know they're not alone, right? Continuing to battle things on Instagram like fat shaming of cosplayers or, things like that. Like, just kind of having each other's back, but also kind of teaching people to be receptive and respectful of
Absolutely.
all different kinds of people, to be, like, regardless of what they look like and what their circumstances are. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that we can do as a community.
Absolutely.
Is just kind of make sure that we're reaching out and talking, not just, not necessarily to strangers, but talk to your friends.
Absolutely.
Somebody who you talk to or you see every day might have something going on.
And you'll never know. You will never know.
And you didn't ask. Like, stuff like this happens, and it's always like this shock to the people who knew the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know he had a gun or something. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened in this situation. I'm just saying that those are the kind of things that happen. So I think I just want to say, even outside of our pop culture geek community, investigate. The people who mean something to you, the people who are close to you, the people who you talk to every day. Don't just assume because you talk to them every day and they didn't tell you something's going on with
that
them.
Everything is just perfectly fine, and
you
don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? So, that's a great thing for suicide prevention. But also nowadays, it seems that people are not content with just taking their own life. They want to take the lives of other people before they take their own life. And that just makes it harder on other people because you don't get any answers, right, for what it was. I think it's definitely going to have a lasting impact on if not the way that conventions handle security and people coming in, at least should have an impact on the way we go to them.
Absolutely. It's just like just having that extra awareness. Just like you said, you go there with your friends, it's like it's hard to keep up, especially, you know, typically it's 5 of us that go, six of us that go, but then we run into folks all the time, and you know, we end up all hanging together.
Right.
It is just, we do the interviews. Sometimes, you know, we'll branch off. One group go one way, one group will go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know, if something like that were to happen, you know, the first thing that's running through your mind is like, yo, where's all of us at? It's like, and it's just one of those surreal things. Just, you know, you want to get yourself to safety, but it's like, yo, Kay went off to the bathroom or something. What are we gonna do? Like, we don't want to leave him, but it's like we can't do anything if it's just a crazy situation.
I mean, look, here's what I'd say. It makes sense. People don't think about it, but it makes sense. You know, you're going to a convention, you're staying overnight, you're getting hotel rooms or whatever. Maybe have a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get with your crew, with your people. Maybe you do it before you get there. Maybe you do it once you get there or whatever. You take 10 minutes.
Take those precautions.
Know where the exits are. You know what I mean? Make sure everybody has a room key who's supposed to have a room key. If you have to break off and you don't have room keys for everybody or something like that, make sure that everybody is with somebody else that has a room key. Things like that are the kind of things that you might not normally take the time to stop and think about, right? But just, you know, take 10 minutes before you go out on the floor and start buying stuff and talking to people and taking pictures and all that kind of stuff to make sure that you have a plan in place in case something does happen. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be somebody shows up and starts shooting. It could be a natural disaster, right? It could be an earthquake or a hurricane or a power outage or
all of those.
Anything that might cause a panic or whatever. Have a plan in place so that you and your people know what to do, right? And I think that's something that we need to do going forward so that we know, hey, look, if something happens, if we get separated, if you can't get a hold of people, everybody meet at this place. Everybody go to this spot, right? And that way we make sure it's the kind of things you would do with your kids, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Not everybody has kids, not everybody goes to a convention has kids, and it's not something you necessarily want to do. But something that simple could make all the difference, right? And even if somebody does get hurt or something happens, then you'll at least know. You'll have an idea because we know everybody was supposed to meet here. We're missing so-and-so. You know what I mean? Who was with them last? Where's the last place you saw them? Whatever. And then collectively, you can kind of share information to try to make sure that person's okay or find out what's going on, that kind of a thing. So, you know, I don't want to dwell on it too much longer. Please, to everybody, one, be safe when you go out. If you go out, take care of each other, take care of your friends, be kind to one another. And two, ask your friends, check on them, you know, just ask them, is everything okay? And they may not want to tell you right then and there, but at least then they know somebody cares enough to check. You know, just because they talk to you every day doesn't necessarily mean that they're telling you everything or something like that. So, do that. Right? Right, Kate?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't like to go out on a sour note. So what do we do?
Gotta do talk about something.
What do you want to talk about?
Got some cons upcoming. I mean,
yeah, we do.
Got some cons coming up.
I mean, we do have some cons coming up. We do. Baltimore's coming up.
Yep.
Baltimore Comic Con's coming up. I'm very excited about that. That's at the end of the month, right at the end of September. So that'll be dope. We will be at the Ocean City Comic Con.
Yes, we will.
It is the second Ocean City Comic Con. Last year was crazy,
it was
bananas.
Absolutely amazing.
This one's going to be the same. It's going to be bigger and better. It's at the convention center now. So they're at the hotel. We're doing a panel.
Yeah.
About being comfortable being a geek, because we are comfortable and geeks. That's a thing. Kay, are you a geek?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too. I would say so too. You one of us. Brethren. Yes, definitely make sure you check that out. So that is in December. That's December 8th. So make sure you check us out there. We will live stream it.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you nervous?
I'm not. I mean, we've done a couple panels. We've sat in on panels. We've talked in front of groups of people. It's just I feel like it's just comfortable now. Like we're talking with
because we're talking with our friends, our family, our people.
Exactly. And you know, it's always a good thing. You know, someone maybe in the audience may not be as comfortable with us, and you know, we are able to express, you know, what it's like being open, you know, doing those type of things. And you know, like, you know, thank you for saying those type of things.
Sure.
You know, you guys make me really want to embrace what I am, and those things, it feels really good.
I'm glad to hear that.
It feels really good.
Oh, you hear that? My man over here feeling good. He's a little close to me, but he's over here feeling good. That's cool. It's cool. And look, a lot of people have been asking me about the artwork that you see behind us on the couch here. I just want you guys to know that What Had Happened Was is back. And at the end of every episode of What Had Happened Was, we are showcasing / spotlighting some of the artists that we've met who've done some of this awesome artwork behind us. So make sure you're checking that out. I think we can wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
You want to wrap it up?
We can wrap it up.
Okay, can we wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, kind like nah, maybe not. Like shit. Like,
I know he sounds like he wants.
You're like yeah.
I know, like
I don't think. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
So listen, ladies and gentlemen, do us a couple of favors. One, if you like what you saw, if you enjoyed the conversation, drop some comments, give us a like and a share, and then make sure you hit that ding-a-ling bell. The ding-a-ling bell.
Yeah.
So that you never miss when we upload a new video. Because we upload a lot of videos.
A lot of videos.
A lot of videos. We do it for you. We do it for us, but we do it for you. So make sure you're doing that. We greatly appreciate it. Follow us across all the socials. I am at Empty Shells, at New Joker 89. It's easy to follow us at Loading Snacks. Make sure you follow K at creative_71. That's creative with a K. It's for all your social media needs, right? I mean, for all your multimedia needs. Social media, multimedia. All your multimedia, social media needs. All your social multimedia needs.
Okay. So multimedia needs.
Right. Multimedia. I said it right. I said it right. We greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. With that, we're out. Toodles and loose.
Loading Snacks. Ow, ow.